welcome, Taurus. Welcome, welcome. How are you guys doing today? Whew, what a week. What a weekend. What a week. It's crazy. Anyway, we got the full moon energy still going. So my name is Patty, and I am your intuitive empath that is doing your intuitive tarot, along with astrology and numerology. Now, just remember that this is divine. Ooh, maybe not. Today, it is divine driven and divine guided. What that means is all my messages I get are geared from divine to help you in your struggles, your challenges, whatever's going on in your life. Maybe you have a question you're trying to get answered. You don't understand something. So this is sort of the divine intuitive tarot. Okay, that's why it's called Divine Warrior. All right, so let's get started, guys. This is for the week of the 31st through the 6th. We're in June already, but you got to remember these energies are definitely going from the full moon. And we also have retrogrades that are now happening, definitely in full force of retrogrades. And this is being filmed on the 25th. So if you're watching this before the 26th, I am doing a reading and an astrology on the full moon on the 26th at 11 a.m. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to watch that. Hopefully that will give you some ideas into the energies that is going to be going on for that next couple of weeks with that. So for those that are brand new, I am doing some oracles here. I'm doing 3 oracles to get started. And that's basically for those people that are brand new to tarot. That's like a theme. Okay, so oracles are sort of like theme cards, and then the tarot cards sort of play off of that. So we'll see what energies are playing there. My first oracle, again, is divine, and that is the message for you. Okay, so this, whatever you're going through, maybe you have a question, you're on the fence about something, you're not quite sure what to do, how to do it. This is the card energy for you from divine. All right. Second card is the current energies for the week. And the third card is for the future energies. However, that future energy is more, I go to the astrology part because those are energies that I basically take from the full moon and the retrogrades and everything that are going on, and I combine that with what the divine is saying. So those future energies could be for a couple weeks. However, these future energies are all the way through June and July right now because these energies are progressive. It's sort of like, you know, learning something. It's progressive. So that's what these energies are about. So our first card for the day, or actually the week. So the divine, whatever you're asking, your challenges, or you're on the fence about, this is it, guys. This is education. So that's not funny. Thank you. So somebody's funny on the other side. I got to block them out because they're sort of like this sarcastic energy. They're saying, yeah, become ignorant. And I'm like, okay, give me a break here. This is divine. That's not divine. That's somebody's relative coming through. So I don't know who that is. However, the divine is saying education. This is time to educate yourself. This is for your progress. This is for things that are coming up. So whatever it is that you need to learn or you need to grow from, this is the time to start doing that. Now, this could be a hobby. This could be a new job. This could be moving to a new place. You have to learn a new city. And if you're moving to another country, a new culture, things like that, this is the time to learn. This is something of the light. Okay, this is divine saying, yes, this is what you need to do to learn, to grow. Now, the education either can come earthly, which is knowledge, or it can come through wisdom, which is divine. Divine's wisdom is all about things that are going to grow you for your spirit and your soul. Okay, so this is something that you want to grow for your spirit and your soul. If you're saying, well, you know, I want to do this, and if you're not feeling it, and you're saying if there's even some type of hesitation in it, but the divine is pushing you to it, then you might want to think about it twice. If it's worldly, it's like, oh yeah, I want to learn about cars. I want to learn about, but your passion is just sort of like not there, or you're saying I should do this. Should is an obligation word. Should is not from your heart or your soul. It is from your head saying, yeah, I really should do it, but you do not want to. It's not a passion within you that wants to do that. So the divine is saying, get your education and your wisdom from me. So that is absolute truth and love. And that's saying if there is a fire inside you burning, if there is a little candle lit in you, and then all of a sudden you start thinking about something you really want to do, and that candle gets brighter and brighter, that's it. So educate yourself on that, whatever the divine has for you. I don't know who that's for. And that again is for your progress. And the current energy this week is about the details of that. So you're really going to have to look at the details of yourself and what you really want and what is burning, that burning desire in you that you really, really want to do, because that's the number 7. This is about your potential and your ambition. That is right here. That's your soul and your spirit. Okay. If you want to learn something and you basically go to a teacher and you learn how to, like me, I do leather work. Okay. That's knowledge. That is not wisdom. That's a top knowledge. Wisdom is from the inside. It's like sometimes, for example, if I'm doing leather work, sometimes it's something new that I'm working on and I don't know how to do it. I'm looking at it and all of a sudden there's a picture of how to do it. That's wisdom. That is a download from divine saying, I'm giving you this gift, this talent. Here is how to do it. And I'm like, how did I know that? How did that happen? It's just something that is there within inside you that he gives you, that he allows you to pay. And you got to listen to the details this week. This is definitely about the details. And then also too, the number 7 again, future is the deep freeze. This is a time to really, and the planets are saying that, especially Saturn, Mercury, and Pluto, is that you really have to go deep within and what is it that you have that passion for. This is saying, pay attention, stop for a minute, because here's the thing, if we keep going, and we say, well, yep, I got to work. I got to do this. Yes, you do. We all have to do that. However, if you're so busy and distracted, how can you really hone in on what you want to do? Sometimes we do that. It's like, a cycle going over and over and over again because we're so distracted or we're so busy, rather than if you just stop for a minute, say, you know what, leave me alone, stop for a minute, really go inside and think about it. Then you will actually see it or feel it, or that fire will get big or whatever it is. But with so many distractions, how do you do that? Right? How do you do that? And these are both the number 7. 6. Oh, it's 7 and 8. Excuse me. We got 2 8s. My apologies. I can't count today. So we have the Divines card and we have the Future card, which is energies and planets. Same thing, guys. Only the Divine has the ultimate power. The omniscient. He is all omniscient. However, these 2 cards are the same, 8. Really, what is it in your education? Some of you are in school. Some of you are very young and in school. And are you really studying the thing that you want to study? When you're young, it's hard because like my daughter, I would not let her go to college until after she was 21 because the frontal lobe of her brain is not developed. And so what that part of your brain is that's your decision-making, your choice-making part of your brain. So if it's not developed, you're not going to make the right choices, or you're not going to even think about the right choices of what you want to do for your future. So when that gets developed and is done growing and changing, then you can make your right decisions. Some people it's 21. Nowadays in scientific studies, they're saying it's 24, 25, and 26. Just because of all the chemicals we eat and hormones and all that kind of stuff. All right. So definitely. All right. So let's think about what you want to do, but you got to pay attention to the details of what you want to do, guys, because that is you crossing your T's and your I's. It's like saying, oh, I really want to learn leatherwork. Okay, great. You can love to learn, but do you know the first steps? How do you get the first steps? What are the first tools? Maybe you don't want a teacher. Maybe you want to learn on YouTube, but what is it that you want to learn? You have to be specific because leather is huge in all kinds of things. You could learn leather bags, leather clothes. You could learn saddles. You could learn carriage. You could learn, archery. You could learn, costuming. You could learn all kinds of stuff. So it's, again, those are the details. You have to get down to those finite details in what you want to do. All right. So pay attention to that. This might be for somebody's work as well. Definitely for somebody's work. That definitely has to do with that. One more. So somebody actually was thinking in the past a lot about money and their career. Sometimes we think too much about that rather than letting things happen. And definitely. Somebody is definitely for the earth. Oh, okay. That's good. That's a good thing. Yay. All right. So we have the King of Pentacles and the Justice. So like I said, somebody was really more towards the earthly thinking and that kind of a thinking. But I think, honestly, life is beginning to transition and change for you right now. There's a major change and a major shift starting to happen. And that major shift and change is not only happening with Taurus, but a lot of signs, because the planets and everything are doing that. But the divine is saying, you know what? I'm doing a reset. You're going to have to change because the old way is not coming back. So what is it that you want to do from now to the future? Because you're going to have to learn something new. Now, if you're in doing something, say that you're studying law or you're studying whatever, okay, that's fine. But you got to remember in the back of your mind, the old ways of doing law is not going to be the same. If the old way of, let's take cooking even, for example. The old way is not going to work. We have now microwaves. We have convection ovens. We have conventional ovens. We have all these super tools that they never had years ago. So something is not going to be the same. So you have to keep educating yourself in whatever it is that you want to do. Even with what I do, the leather work, I have to keep educating because somebody's always coming up with some new tool, some new fandangle thing, and I can make the choice to either use that new tool or do it the old way. I still do a lot of stuff the old-fashioned way, by hand, a lot of it. So this is something that you're going to have to make a decision about. You're going to have to decide in which way that you want to go. Also, somebody else here, this is a different energy, is that you're going to want to decide which way you're going to go for yourself, your soul, your spirit, and your life. So somebody is actually trying to make a choice on which way to go. And this is the hard part. This is very, very hard for you to make that choice. Because you want to go with what your heart and your soul is telling you, because that's the number 10. 10 of cups, the ultimate. But you know what? You're going to get bucked for doing that. You know, a lot of the times we do something and there's always going to be a naysayer. There's always going to be somebody that is going against you. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like what you're doing. However, sometimes you cannot share that all with somebody. So we say keep those close to your heart and keep them secret to your heart, because like when I was bodybuilding, I couldn't share that I was going to compete with everybody because I was 215 pounds and they would probably say, yeah, right. Yep. And actually one person did, and I had to divorce him for a while. My mother. Oh yeah, right. Here we go. You're on that yo-yo ride again. Here you go. So I had to shut everybody down and not share that with anybody, but just to keep working due diligent in that, because you're going to come up against somebody that does not agree with you. It's not their journey. Take a freaking hike and stay in your own lane. Pretty much is what I would say to them. But there is something coming towards you that you really, really want to do. But do not worry about the people that come up against you and fight you and say, you're not going to do that. It's not going to happen. What are you thinking? Are you stupid or what? Why would you want to do that? These are the people that you just want to tell them to go take a hike, because this is going to change your life. So with the Devil card, it's going to release your bondage of doing something you don't like doing, you don't want to do, you feel obligated to do, you complain to do it. It's like a lot of jobs. You go and complain, so why not change jobs? Oh, but then I got to start over. Excuses. It means that you just want to stay bonded. Oh, but the money's good. So money is better than your mental health and your spiritual health and your body health, stress. This is where somebody's going wrong. Somebody's making excuses, but in the middle of this reading, there is an offer here, guys. There is an offer. And yes, it's an offer for you to change and grow to what you want to do. Divine's card. I'm trying to show you there's something more to life. There is something more that I made you for. Pay attention to it. So listen to that intuition in you. Listen to that little candle that's burning, because there's a candle burning, but how big is it burning? Psh, that's up to you. Because if you squish it and you make excuses and limit yourself, that I wish I had a candle here because it's just a really tiny flicker. But if you blow on it, it grows. If you actually feed it, it grows. It's like blowing air on a fire. And then all of a sudden it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what you need to be doing to yourself. Whoever that is, you need to be feeding yourself that fire. Refuel yourself. Motivate yourself. Get energy within yourself. Boy, I don't know who this is for, because here's the thing. Whatever job you're in that you hate right now, or whatever you're doing that you hate right now, once you make a decision, get off the fence, because your craw is going to start hurting from sitting on that fence. And it's like, okay, and it's just going to start hurting and get uncomfortable. You got to get on one side. You got to sit on one side or the other. It's time to get off the fence, because the off the fence is just that little flicker. But if you say, I'm going to go give this my best shot and do this, whatever it is, whether it's school or a job, or whether it's just a passion that you want to do, travel or get married or whatever it is, I'm going to give it all in. And then it's going to release your bondage, because your heart and your spirit and your soul are now into it. I've been there. I've done jobs. I have been living in the world and hated certain jobs. I did them, but I also knew that the divine was putting me in that job to set me up for something in the future. However, it was still earthly. I stood in front of a company one time, had no flipping clue. I needed a job, and I didn't know what the heck. Okay, I'm going to say it. I was standing in front of Home Depot one day, and I'm like, in the parking lot, my first day, and I'm like, why the heck am I here, God? I am not a Home Depot person. I am not, and I was hired to work in the garden. And I was like, I am not a builder. I am not into tools. I am not. But what I didn't know was what was coming up in the future, that it had really no relation to the job itself. It was the people in the job that I met for a reason. And I could share those, but I won't hold this reading up. But the other thing was, there was a program within Home Depot that was called the Homer Fund, where if you put a little bit of money in your paycheck into it, if you have an emergency, you can apply and get funding. Well, I didn't know I was going to end up in the hospital. And I applied for the funding and I got it. I didn't know I was going to be homeless, that they were going to condemn the home that I was living in because somebody built it and wasn't even supposed to be there. So there they gave me the funding. So divine puts us in these places for a reason, and it may not be that job, but it may be in for something else. So pay attention to that. This is definitely about your future. This is definitely, somebody is really needing to think about their future. Acknowledgement. Number 3 is all about acknowledgement. So you really want to pay attention to that. That's also Saturn's energy and the retrograde, getting deep inside and really asking yourself those hard questions and be honest. Because a lot of people are not honest with themselves. They're fooling themselves, or they're doing stuff for other people. I used to be that way. Yeah, you're sitting stressing out about it. You're stressing. Nine of Swords, stress. Got to get out of that. Here's the thing. If you cannot sleep, that is the divine's way to be working in you, to be making you think, to be making you pay attention to the details, to be trying to figure out, this is for the good. How is this for the good? How is this for, because when we go through our storms and our challenges, this is our education, guys. The divine is saying, I am trying to educate you through this storm, through this challenge, that this is going to be good and it is going to be fine, and it's even going to make you better. It's going to make you stronger. All right. Definitely. This is also for somebody in a bad relationship. This is a time to really begin to look at this relationship, because it's been not all rosy. If you're having more problems than you are, more problems than you are joyful times, then this is a time to really, really, really evaluate. Not saying to get a divorce, but maybe you need counseling, maybe you need coaching, because a lot of the times love is a choice, communication is a choice, and the way we communicate is a choice. And this is for somebody to actually learn a better process of doing that. Doesn't mean you have to separate, even especially if you were in love and there's that communication. This is somebody just not wanting to work on it. Got to get that strength. So we have somebody who's just sort of in their weak point right at the moment. And that is just for a moment. But it will change when your mindset changes. All right. Wow. Time sure flies. All right. All right, Divine. I'm going to see if there is... can I get a clarification on this deep freeze, please? Somebody's really needing to look internally to themselves, which that's a lot of the Saturn signs, as we know, the retrograde signs going on. But can you give me a specific or something that there is a Taurus that needs to look into this deep freeze for the devil's reason, please? The 5 and 2 of Wands. Definitely about your communication. So for those of you that are just coming on, I'm clarifying the deep freeze, which is the thought process for the future. This is where you're really internally thinking about things and it getting heavy. Somebody is not communicating well. So we have the 5 and the 2 of Wands. So somebody is trying to always, or I can't say always, majority of the time, they are trying to get their word across. They're trying to get their, what their belief is and how they believe in that. And they're trying to get it across, but it's not being articulate. And it's, again, creating more problems. Because this is the second time this has showed up. Okay, so it's time to learn a new way to communicate. The old way is not working. Or if you keep saying something over and over again, I've talked about this so many times. How many times are you ever going to listen? Then you're not getting your message across. It's going this way. So you would need to find new ways of communicating. I do have a video on effective communication. You're very welcome to watch that. Just go into the videos and type in communication. It'll pop up. It's got 2 little horse heads on it. But this is going to release this bondage of this fighting, this arguing, because this is for your future. Definitely for your future. Again, and we are thinking about the future again, the 2 and the 3. And the number 2 in numerology is going to bring this together. If you bring this partnership together, it's going to bring, more happiness and more joy if you learn the communication process. Or if you don't, then you're probably going to separate and do that same cycle over and over and over again. All right. So somebody's got to learn some new communication skills here. All right. I'm going to do really quick health and wealth, or excuse me, health and I think, especially with this planet going, the planet and the full moon energies, definitely I'm going to do health and, love and relationships. My mind is going a million miles a minute. But the thing is that we're going to look at health and love and relationships. So on the health aspect, if you're having problems with your lower back, if you're having problems with your joints, if you're having problems just sort of with stiffness all around, or maybe if you're into sports, your muscles might be a little bit sore more than usual. That's a lot to do with the planet energies. But a lot of it is more lower back, like a strain or a pull, or you just might be feeling like, oh my gosh, my back, what's going on with it? All right. So it might be that in sense. All right. Lovely, 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 lovely. So we have the 8 of Wands. Again, this is again for your health. This is also about your progress. So paying attention to those aches and pains, taking care of them, whatever you use, Tiger Balm, Biofreeze, whatever, that might be helpful, because this is just a progress that's going on. And it's sort of like when you start working out, how sore you are in the beginning. When I started bodybuilding and they wanted to work on my legs, and I've got strong soccer legs, but when we worked them, I literally couldn't sit on the toilet. That's how bad they hurt. I could not get down or up. It was a mess. So this is what I'm talking about. If you're doing things that your body's just really like pushing it to the limit, make sure you love it. Make sure you give it even a massage, or you give yourself some of that Bengay. Well, Bengay is not good. I'm going to tell you right now, Bengay is not good. You want to get Biofreeze or Tiger Balm. Those two really soak into the muscles, really help out your muscles. But definitely, this is for your progress. So whatever is going on in your health, just hang on there. It's going to change. It's going to get better. This is for your health. If you're going through any treatments, just know that you're doing what you need to be doing to make this better. Anything is for good in your health. All right. So this is going to keep going, but just know that with the planets, it does have to do with your joints in your lower back, pretty much, and around your tailbone area. Like if you sit on your butt too much and it's like, man, my butt hurts today. Sort of like that. All right. So for love and relationships, 10 of Cups, guys, this is a second time here. So there is this opportunity for you in love and relationships, 10 being something ending, something new. But I'm going to say it's more new because of the way that the planets are going. But also, too, the divine is saying, educate yourself, learn about yourself. And if you also in love and relationships, if you really want to grow your relationship and grow it to an intimate or love level, learn how the opposite sex or your partner thinks. Being that I'm heterosexual, so I would say I need to learn how a male brain thinks. I need to figure out how to talk to it, how to make it lift up, how to make them know that I care about them through their way, not my way. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the education that you can do. And I will tell you that there is a gentleman in the United States, Dr. John Gray, who does Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. He's got videos all over the place. He's also got little blurps with other people that have him on as guests. Phenomenal way to learn about the opposite sex, whether it's through communication, whether it's through understanding, whether it's through intimacy or sexual. You will understand the other person's thing. And I really I really like listening to him, because he is not only does the mental, like, oh yeah, this is how it works. No, he gets into the testosterone, the estrogen. He gets into the dopamine. He gets into all the ways that each brain works, because we don't work on the same level. And our hormones are huge to change that. So educate yourself in your love relationship this week. And this is where you really want to look at the details. Ask your partner. If you're in a relationship, ask your partner, really what it is that they like. What it is that they're looking for, what they want in their life, what is their goal, where are they going, what are they doing, where you stand even in their life, because you might be on one page, they might be up here, and you might be and they're getting ready to leave and you're getting ready to date, and it's like, what happened? All right. So I hope this was helpful, guys. Taurus, it is going to be, let's see now, any announcements? Yeah, don't forget dailies. I'm doing dailies now. Please don't forget to watch dailies. They're only 1 minute. Divine picks the card, and it is your inspiration and message for that day. I hope you watch it. Just little 1 minute. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll be able to watch those. And the full moon reading is done. So if you haven't watched that, I will be uploading it. I will be recording it on the 26th. And it will be uploaded then. But otherwise, come on board and say hello. The chat will be open on the 26th, so you can ask questions and say hello. All right, we will talk to you next week, and welcome to June. We're in summer, guys. We're in summer. Take care. Love you guys.